Imagine you're diving beneath the waves, surrounded by a vast, vibrant underwater world where each creature, big or small, is interlinked in ways we're just beginning to understand. In this silent, deep expanse, certain species act as the pillars that uphold the entire ecosystem, much like the keystone in an ancient stone arch. Without these keystone species, the marine world could crumble. Picture this: we often think of the ocean as a vast, unbreakable force of nature, but in reality, the balance of life beneath the waves is delicate. From personal experience studying marine habitats, it's clear that some species have a profound impact on every organism around them. In fact, they play a role so essential that, without them, the entire ecosystem risks collapse. Just like removing a crucial brick from an arch can bring the whole structure down, removing a keystone species can set off a chain reaction, rippling through every layer of life below. These species are the backbone, influencing not only the creatures they interact with directly but setting the stage for life across entire ecosystems. To understand the power of these keystone species, let's dive into three main types: predators, ecosystem engineers, and mutualists. Predators. At the top of the food chain, we have apex predators like sharks. Imagine sharks as the regulators of marine life, keeping populations of smaller fish and prey animals in check. Without sharks, prey species like tuna would multiply unchecked, consuming vast amounts of smaller fish and plant life, disrupting the entire food chain. This is what marine biologists call a trophic cascade, where the absence of predators can cause an imbalance that spirals throughout the ecosystem. For instance, without sharks to control tuna populations, the explosion of tuna could lead to a depletion of smaller fish, which then leads to less food for other marine animals. Gradually, this destabilizes the ecosystem, showing how crucial these apex predators are to maintaining balance. Ecosystem engineers. Some species go beyond hunting and eating, they reshape their environments in a way that benefits countless others. Take corals and burrowing organisms as examples. They are known as ecosystem engineers, and they come in two types: autogenic and allergenic engineers. Autogenic engineers. Cold water corals are autogenic engineers. They grow, die, and leave skeletal remains that provide shelter and protection for fish, crustaceans, and countless other marine life. Their growth structures the seafloor, creating rich habitats that are crucial for a wide range of species. Allergenic engineers. Species like rays and skates, on the other hand, are allergenic engineers. They directly alter their environment by burrowing into sand and disturbing the sediment. This action, though subtle, creates hiding places for small organisms and stirs up nutrients that feed a diversity of marine life. Then there are mutualists, species that engage in symbiotic relationships to survive. In the lightless depths of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, mutualism is essential for life. Imagine a tube worm hosting bacteria that feast on chemicals spewed from hydrothermal vents. In return, these bacteria produce nutrients that sustain the worm. This relationship forms the foundation of entire communities in the deep sea, with organisms relying on each other for survival. These keystone mutualistic relationships are fascinating, as they show us that life can thrive even in the harshest conditions, given the right partnerships. Imagine you are swimming next to a shark, the apex predator of the ocean. But what happens if the number of sharks decreases? This is where the domino effect comes into play. Without sharks to control the population of larger fish like tuna, these species will rapidly increase and consume a large amount of smaller creatures. These smaller creatures are the food source for countless other species. And when they decline, the entire food chain is affected. The consequence is that not only are tuna and other bait fish deprived of food, but coral reefs and the habitats of many other species are also threatened. By maintaining the balance of species populations, sharks not only protect other species but also safeguard their own habitat. Imagine a coral reef in deep waters, where cold corals slowly grow over thousands of years. When an old coral structure dies, the remaining skeleton becomes a refuge for many species of fish and invertebrates. The existence of these coral homes forms a backbone for the rich ecosystems at the bottom of the sea. In this ocean world, these tiny and fragile creatures are not only homes but also a source of life for many other species. When corals are destroyed by pollution or climate change, the entire ecosystem can lose a safe haven and an important food source. when a giant whale dies and its carcass sinks to the ocean floor. It begins a miraculous and incredibly important process for the deep-sea ecosystem. This phenomenon, known as whale fall, creates a massive nutrient reservoir in the dark ocean, where deep-sea creatures depend on it for survival. This is not only a unique phenomenon but also a special biological supply chain that supports hundreds of species at different stages for many years. In the following years, the whale carcass becomes a habitat for many small organisms such as bacteria, fungi, and invertebrates. These organisms not only receive nutrients from the whale's bones but also form a food chain for other species. The area surrounding the whale carcass gradually becomes a diverse ecological zone, where organisms not only live but also thrive. After decades, when the whale bones have been completely consumed, other organisms will continue their journey, but the legacy of the whale remains, as it has provided a source of life and opened up opportunities for countless species. Whale fall is not just a simple process of biological decomposition, but an incredible legacy of the ocean, a natural cycle that helps support life in the deep layers where sunlight cannot reach. Whales play an important role not only while they are alive, but even after they die. They still provide immense value to the marine environment. Whale carcasses are a unique source of nutrition, helping deep-sea organisms survive harsh living conditions. In fact, the existence of a rich ecosystem on the ocean floor largely depends on such valuable whale falls. The phenomenon of whale fall reminds us of the deep connections in nature, that even when life ends, it continues to transmit energy and nutrients, sustaining the cycle of the ocean. The deep sea is a world of interconnectedness and resilience, where life finds extraordinary ways to thrive in a place devoid of sunlight. Here, mutualistic relationships, where two or more species depend on each other for survival, are not just beneficial but essential. These alliances enable life to exist in one of the most extreme and isolated environments on Earth. Let's dive into some of the remarkable mutualisms that define this mysterious underwater realm. Unlike most ecosystems on Earth, deep-sea communities around hydrothermal vents and cold seeps survive without any sunlight. Instead, they rely on chemosynthesis, a process where bacteria convert chemicals like hydrogen sulfide, released from the Earth's crust, into usable energy. One of the most striking examples of this relationship is found in the symbiosis between tube worms and chemosynthetic bacteria. These tube worms lack mouths and digestive systems. Instead, they host bacteria inside their bodies, which process chemicals and produce nutrients for the worms. This mutualistic relationship forms the backbone of an entire ecosystem, with the tube worms serving as foundational organisms that support a wide range of other species. In this mutualistic relationship, shrimp act as cleaners for larger fish and other marine animals, carefully removing parasites, dead skin, and debris from their scales, gills, and mouths. The cleaning process itself is delicate and involves a dance of trust and coordination. The fish signals its need for cleaning by opening its mouth or flaring its gills, allowing the shrimp to enter and perform its task. The shrimp, in turn, receives small bits of food as it cleans, turning what would otherwise be a hazardous journey into a safe and beneficial interaction. Fish seem to instinctively recognize their cleaning partners and will often visit specific cleaning stations on the ocean floor where shrimp gather. Here, the fish adopt non-threatening poses, signaling to the shrimp that they pose no danger. This mutual understanding allows both species to interact harmoniously, providing sustenance and hygiene in a region where both are hard to come by. For shrimp, this role is crucial to their own survival. In the food-scarce depths of the ocean, any chance to obtain nourishment is valuable, by feeding on the parasites and detritus found on the bodies of larger fish. Shrimp not only fulfill their dietary needs but also gain a measure of safety. Since larger fish actively seek them out for cleaning, shrimp are often less likely to be seen as prey, allowing them to coexist with some of the ocean's most formidable predators in a unique and peaceful interaction. Some shrimp species have even developed specialized adaptations, such as elongated pincers or sensitive antennae, which allow them to detect and remove parasites more effectively. These adaptations enhance their role as cleaning specialists, making them indispensable to their larger partners. From the fish's perspective, this relationship is equally essential. In the deep sea, where medical intervention doesn't exist, maintaining physical health can mean the difference between life and death. Parasites can sap a fish's energy, hinder its ability to swim, and make it more vulnerable to disease. By allowing shrimp to clean their bodies, fish can stay healthier, move more efficiently, and reduce the risk of infections that could weaken or even kill them. This mutualism thus supports the survival and well-being of fish populations, allowing them to focus their energy on essential functions like hunting and reproduction. These cleaning crews may seem like a small part of the ocean's ecology, but their influence ripples across the ecosystem. By keeping larger fish healthy, shrimp help maintain balanced predator-prey relationships, allowing top predators to keep prey populations in check. Healthy predators contribute to a balanced ecosystem by ensuring that no single species overpopulates and disrupts the intricate web of marine life. In this way, these tiny shrimp, often overlooked, play a significant role in the health and stability of their environment. Furthermore, this mutualistic relationship serves as a model for other species. It's not uncommon for other fish and invertebrates to observe and learn from these cleaning interactions, leading to similar partnerships among different species across the ecosystem. Over time, these behaviors spread, fostering a culture of mutual assistance in a habitat that depends on cooperation to endure. Scientists have studied deep-sea cleaning interactions as a prime example of symbiosis in extreme environments. These relationships provide insights into how species adapt to survive under conditions of scarcity, high pressure, and low temperatures. By observing cleaning behaviors, researchers gain a greater understanding of how ecosystems function holistically, where even the smallest acts of cooperation contribute to the survival of diverse marine communities. The deep-sea cleaning crews showcase a fascinating model of ecological interdependence, underscoring how creatures with vastly different lifestyles and needs can come together for mutual benefit. In these partnerships, we see nature's resilience and adaptability, as well as a reminder of how interconnected life is at every level. Migratory predators contribute nutrients to the ocean ecosystem through feeding and defecating as they travel. Their fecal matter, rich in nutrients from their prey, becomes a crucial food source for smaller organisms like plankton, which form the base of the marine food web. These nutrients then trickle up through the food chain, supporting a range of marine life, from small invertebrates to larger fish. This process, known as nutrient cycling, helps sustain life even in seemingly desolate parts of the ocean, ensuring that diverse communities can flourish. In addition to waste, any tissue or fat released into the water after feeding or due to injury adds another layer of nutrients, which are eagerly consumed by scavengers and other deep-sea organisms. Migratory predators thus create small bursts of productivity and biodiversity as they move, turning the ocean from a patchwork of isolated areas into a connected, thriving ecosystem. Many migratory predators also engage in daily vertical migrations, moving from deep waters to shallower areas during the night and returning to the depths during the day. This behavior, known as diel vertical migration, further contributes to nutrient distribution. When these animals ascend to feed in nutrient-rich surface waters, they absorb nutrients and oxygen into their tissues. Upon returning to the depths, they release these nutrients through respiration and waste, enriching the deep sea with materials usually found only near the surface. These vertical migrations help oxygenate deep-sea environments and transport surface nutrients to depths that would otherwise remain nutrient-poor. The nutrients introduced this way benefit organisms that rely on marine snow, a slow drizzle of organic particles that falls from above, for sustenance, adding to the productivity of deep-sea ecosystems. Certain locations in the ocean, such as coral reefs, seamounts, and underwater canyons, are known as nutrient hotspots due to the accumulation of nutrients brought by migratory predators. These predators tend to frequent these areas for feeding or breeding, releasing large amounts of nutrients that create a thriving habitat for numerous marine species. For example, sharks that travel long distances often return to specific breeding grounds, where their presence and the nutrients they bring contribute significantly to local biodiversity. The nutrients deposited by these predators help sustain complex food webs in these areas, supporting everything from small fish and invertebrates to larger apex predators. These hotspots become focal points of ecological productivity, often attracting diverse species due to the rich resources available. By transporting nutrients across vast ocean regions, migratory predators play a critical role in promoting biodiversity. Their movements ensure that isolated populations of marine life have access to essential resources, preventing the decline of species that depend on nutrient availability. Nutrient vectors enable ecosystems to be more resilient to environmental stressor, as the nutrient influx they provide helps communities adapt to changes in temperature, salinity, and resource availability. In this way, migratory predators contribute to ecological resilience by sustaining diverse marine populations across a wide range of oceanic environments. They help buffer ecosystems against disturbances such as climate change and overfishing. The nutrient cycling they create not only keeps current populations healthy but also lays a foundation for future generations of marine life. Human activities like overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction threaten the role of migratory predators as nutrient vectors. When populations of sharks, rays, and other large fish decline, nutrient cycling is disrupted, and the biodiversity of connected regions is compromised. For example, the loss of sharks due to overfishing not only reduces predator control but also diminishes the nutrient contributions they would otherwise make to barren ocean floors. Protecting migratory predators is essential for maintaining nutrient flow and ecosystem connectivity in the ocean. Marine protected areas, MPAs, that safeguard key migratory routes and feeding grounds can help preserve the roles these animals play in nutrient cycling. By conserving these species, we ensure that they continue to act as nutrient vectors, supporting the intricate web of marine life and preserving the resilience of ocean ecosystems. Migratory predators are more than just hunters or apex predators. They are vital architects of the ocean's connectivity. Their movements enrich barren ocean zones, sustain nutrient hotspots, and foster a dynamic flow of resources across the vast marine landscape. In a sense, these animals are the pulse of the ocean, ensuring that life-giving nutrients flow through every layer of the ecosystem. As we continue to explore and understand these nutrient pathways, we gain a deeper appreciation for how interconnected and interdependent ocean ecosystems truly are. The role of migratory predators in nutrient distribution exemplifies the hidden intricacies of marine life, reminding us of the delicate balance that supports the beauty and resilience of the world's oceans. Another unique partnership is seen between certain types of fish and shrimp that act as cleaning crews in the deep ocean. In areas where food is scarce, some fish and other animals develop symbiotic relationships with shrimp that clean parasites and debris from their bodies. This mutual benefit is crucial for survival. The shrimp receive sustenance from the cleaning process, while the fish and other marine animals remain healthy and free of harmful parasites. While the ocean floor may seem isolated, migratory predators play a critical role in connecting different parts of the marine ecosystem. Species like sharks, rays, and large fish travel across vast stretches of ocean, transporting nutrients from nutrient-rich areas to barren regions of the ocean floor. As they hunt and feed, they leave behind nutrients that feed deep-sea communities, enriching the ecosystem and promoting biodiversity. These migratory animals act as nutrient vectors, providing a crucial link in the food web. In this world of extreme darkness and pressure, life has adapted not by competition but by cooperation. The creatures of the deep sea rely on one another for survival, forming a complex web of interdependent relationships. These mutualistic bonds demonstrate a remarkable resilience, showcasing how even the most unlikely ecosystems can flourish through interconnectedness.